our King Santa. But that's what we're gonna do. So, so stream number 2000, we're playing some Warsim, and the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna make a new game. It's been a while since we played Warsim. They've apparently redone the combat since we last played it. Apparently it's more involved now. You're about to say it would be a challenge to fit 21 streams in 11 days. Yeah, well, I mean, I could stream twice a day, but next year. It's you know the point in the year, Jack Nurk, where actually, you know what, chat. Anyway, you know that like that point where like you forget what year it is constantly, and it takes until like February to remember it's the next year. Like most of January, I'm gonna be saying 2021, because like I'm still just shocked that it's like December 20th. Like, when did this year end? When did this year end? Because it's almost over. When did that happen? It is a scary number, yeah. So we have 5 options here. Random races, pull from a list of 94,887,552 races. We could select races, choose races that will occupy your world. Completely customized game, custom every part of your game world. Preset race packs. Choose from a preset races to pull from. Welcome to the 24th month of 2020. That's, yeah, no, I agree with you, Joe. Like, it absolutely, it's still 2020 as far as I'm concerned. I think we're just going to do random races because that kind of adds to the fun for me. Do you want to leave the races up to the races that fill your world completely up to fate, or would you like to select a random number? We'll leave it up to fate. Do you feel like you're still stuck in 1985? What, like that one song by Bowling for Soup, 1985 by Bowling for Soup? 1985. It's a good song. Although this game might make you feel like you're stuck in 1985, to be fair. Also, I am going to real quick share something. If you've never played this game or heard of this game before, this game is available on itch. It's available on Steam. It's available in various places. The developer recently celebrated selling 30,000 copies. It's like $8. Not really, actually. I forget. People reminded me about the 21st of September on the 22nd of September. I was like, wait, you didn't realize? I'm like, nope, totally missed it. Totally missed it. Yeah, so this game's kind of like text-based Mountain Blade, if you're not familiar with it. But now the question, how long do we want our reign to be? I've never done longer than 50 years. I mean, obviously Santa reigns indefinite, right? But like, kind of want to be able to finish this year, so let's say, let's just do 50. Because then we can chill, we can take our time, and not worry too much about the end of our reign. No music. So let's go with currently selected music. Okay, so we are Santa. All right? That's what I'm going to make this. We are Santa. So we are going to give ourselves a title. So our title is going to be Santa. I mean, obviously you can enter any title you want, you know, King, Queen, Almighty, Steve, etc. But Santa is the title. We are Santa. Enter your preferred word for encounters where you'd normally be referred to as Lord, Lady, they. This will be used for Lord, Milady, and make sure it fits. What is Santa's? Is it still just Santa? Saint's probably correct, actually, yeah, right? Saint is probably right, and the name will be Nick. Miss Santa. Miss Saint. McClaus? Claus could work. Miss Saint probably, though. I feel like every time I have to read Miss Santa, I'm just gonna laugh my ass off. Just call him Nick. But then it'll be Cage. Nick. Enter your preferred word for encounters when you normally referred to as Mr., Mrs., or person. So this would be Claus? Like Claus, probably? How? Claus, Santa, Nick. Nah. Package dealer? Christmas? Eh. Oh. We're trying leaves on him. Santy. Santy. My name is Santy Santa Nicholas. Sir. You would keep it Mr.? We could keep it Mr. Mr. would probably make the most sense, but it might not be the most funny. You know? But yeah, let's stick with Mr. We obviously want to make our own name. What's Santa's last name? It's Claus, right? Duh. Scrooge Mc... Damn, we really should have just, instead of Mr., we should have just made it Daddy. Damn it, we missed an opportunity, didn't we? What is... What is what's Saint Nicholas's last name? I always thought it was Claus, but I guess not. Known as Nicholas of Bari, an early Christian bishop Greek. Huh. Well, I'm staring at the St. Nicholas Wikipedia page right now. He was also known as St. Nicholas the Wonder Worker. Kringle? I think that's like the I mean, we could go to the like very accurate modern day documentaries, Santa Claus movies. Kringle? Kringle? Kringle. Nick Kringle. Uh-oh. This is absolutely a game that is worth $8. I paid $8 for it, Chocobo. This is, like, it's not a game that I play a ton of, but, like, I have 25 hours in this game, and, I come back to it every couple of updates, and it's one of the few games where the updates genuinely scare the piss out of me. Because it's a text-based game, the dev's just like, yo, we just added 333 new features. And, like, features for this game are, like, new screens, right? But, like, the amount of content he can cram into this game in a single patch is actually kind of brain-hurting. I mean, like, there's a lot of RNG in it, and it's very silly, and, like, it doesn't take itself too seriously, but, like, if you enjoy text adventures, this is a pretty fun one. So, I would say it's well worth $8. Also, the dev is one of the nicest people I've ever met, and and it's actually kind of ridiculous. He responds to every single positive review on Steam. So, like, I don't know. I would say it is worth the money, but you do you. Nick Kringle is our name. Obviously, we want to make our own kingdom. New kingdom name. North Pole. Chat, do you have a better one? Like, do you have a better one? It also comes with multiple built-in mods, including a Dwarf Fortress mod. So there is that, too. There is that too. Workshop? Nah. No. Nah, I'm going with North Pole. North Dakota. Santa's not from North Dakota. So you bought it? Well, so good luck. This game does have quite a bit of behind-the-scenes simulation. There's elements of randomization and elements of, like, replayability, but it's super moddable, and the community for this game's cool, and I personally really like the game. Let's just do a normal start, I think. You are ruler of the Kingdom of North Pole. Here we go. Once a great and mighty empire, fighting against a powerful rebellion of the Faradal Kinslayer and the hordes of bandits loyal to Fëanor, the Overlord and Bandit Horde, as well as several minor bandit gangs who pester your lands. The world is vast and complex. There is much to see and do, and little time to waste. From the fabled ancient lands to the blood-soaked arena, these lands call to be united under the flag of North Pole. Generating stuff. Whee! Ooh, Rose Dusk Legion. The Brown Bannered Sardom. Ooh. I saw Invisible Something. No, we didn't choose the origin story yet. You choose origin story after you generate the world, I think? It's just generating the world now. World gen takes longer in this game now. Starting work, beer counter in 8 minutes. Best of luck, Diamond. You saw Blood Court something? Yeah, I mean, people made of blood are not too unheard of in this game. World is full of mystery and wonder. There are many peoples in this world. They are men, nightmen, masked arch Blogrocky, orange earthen scions? I think that's what that is. Brown Coast Corpse Lords. Brown Coast Corpse Lords is my new grindcore band, by the way. Invincible half demons. Oh, that's good. Goblins and demons. They're either bragging or they're very dangerous. All right, chat. So, what is our origin story? We have several options, and there's some that I won't select just because we've done them before. But my father, the previous ruler, was assassinated. My father, the previous ruler, died of old age. My father, the previous ruler, turned mad and was jailed. I won the throne in a bet with the previous ruler. I am a bandit warlord and took the throne with my bandit army. I stole the throne with the demonic trickery. That's the one we're not going to do. And to serve the demonic overlord, because that's the last playthrough we did. And I pulled a fabled sword from a stone. My father's village elder and inherited the throne by accident. My enslaved forces were able to overthrow the previous ruler. I won the throne in a tournament. And to find the new ruler by strength. I led a slave revolt to overthrow the slavers who ruled, and it's a long story, which we're also not going to do because we've done that one before. Just keep it simple. 9 would be kind of hilarious. Okay, so in my opinion, 2 and 3 would be... 2 would be pretty normal. 3 would be kind of hilarious. 9 would also be kind of hilarious. And 11 would also be kind of hilarious. Well, generally, slaves in this game are goblins. Because, like, the goblin slavers are a pretty heavy market in this game. So we could have, like, an army of goblins and just call them our elves. I'm kind of leaning I led a slave revolt. Kind of thinking about leaning that way. I don't know. What did it give you, Chocobo? If you got a random name. Well, I mean, maybe that says something about you. Terra-Jane the Worthless. But prove them wrong, I suppose. Well, in this world, they are goblins, for sure. Absolutely Osmics. I don't know, chat. 2, 3, 9, or 11. What do you think we should do? Let's just do popular vote. What do you think we should do? 2, 3, 9, or 11? 2, 3, 9, or 11. 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 Seeing quite a few 9s, 1 11, a few 11s. Seems to be tied between 9 and 11. That's a bad number to say out loud. It seems to be tied between the two. Just gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 1, 2, 3. It looks like it's 9. All right. My enslaved forces were able to overthrow the previous ruler. You guys are giving me kind of a hardish start here. You realize that, right? Because everybody's gonna be mad. Everybody's going to be upset with us. 12. I mean, we've done 12 before. The funny thing about 12 is it's actually a long story. It just kind of keeps going. Looks like it's 9, though. 11 is almost like Elf. I led a slave revolt and overthrew the slavers who ruled. I haven't seen Elf in a very, very, very long time. And the only thing I remember about Elf is him running across the room and jumping on the Christmas tree and then it falling over on him. It's the only memory I have of that movie. And I just remember my mom, like, crying laughing. Oh, the led a slave revolt. I think, you know, honestly, now that I'm saying this, I think I'm leaning 11 more. I led a slave revolt and overthrew the slavers who ruled, which is kind of funny. I think 11 is... I think I'm actually going to have to, like, go past you guys and just go with 11. Because 11 is just, like... Not that... It's... The last time I played... my actual reasoning for this. The last time I played, we did the demon start where I stole the throne with demonic trickery to serve the overlord. I did that start. And everybody hated me and we had a lot of slaves. And that kind of just was that way to play the game. So I'm going to, I think, go with 11 just because it's kind of a different way to play the game. And it'll be a very different start from the last one. Your memories of youth are hazy, but before you were fully into adulthood, you were captured by a slave raid and taken to a cold northern fortress. Excellent. Being used as a massive slave camp. There you were beaten and made to work for cruel masters alongside of thousands of other slaves like yourself. In your time in the fort, you noticed occasionally the armory would be left largely unattended. You convinced several other slaves to rush the armory when all the slavers were in the courtyard. Your plan went off without a hitch. The armory guards were quickly killed, and soon almost every slave in the fort was armed and angry. I think they were angry beforehand, but now they're just armed and angry. The newly armed force made short work of the slaver garrison and killed their old overlords. Some slaves fled, but most stayed united under your march to the slaver kingdom North Pole, who owned the slavers' fort. The garrison of North Pole were caught off guard and quickly overwhelmed by your ex-slave army. With North Pole captured, you were crowned ruler, with many of the ex-slaves pledging to remain as your new army of free men. Half of your soldiers and peasants deserted. Great. Half of your soldiers and peasants have deserted and joined the rebels. Plus 10 public opinion due to your origin. Plus 2,000 ex-slave soldier units for your army. Plus 3,000 ex-slaves units for your army. And the slavers' fort was destroyed in the fighting. All right, so the slavers' fort is an area that you can discover, and cause some trickery and fuckery with and buy a bunch of slaves if you want. But I guess it's destroyed, so we'll find a destroyed fort instead of like actually finding the fort. You are invited to the royal crowning ceremony, where you can learn of your newly inherited realm. Of course, you are the ruler of this kingdom, and can ignore the ceremony completely. Of course, we'll go to the kingdom. So basically, we destroyed Santa's workshop and claimed ourselves the title of the Santa. Yes, that's my headcanon of this. You enter what is now your throne room for the first time. Oh, also, Chocobo, since you just bought this game, the default settings are a little messed up. And not messed up, but like hard to see and tiny. And if the game is the size of a postage stamp, you have to pretend that it's a DOS game and right-click on the window, and you can select your font at the top of the window if you go to properties. So you can set your font and size and whatnot. Actually makes the game very customizable. You could play this game in Comic Sans if you were a monster. You enter what is now your throne room for the first time. We call it Santa's Workshop. There are small crowds of people who are gathered to see their new Santa. As you as you take a moment to observe the room, the High General of the North Pole approaches. Use Comic Serif? Fair enough. You could. I actually don't know what font this is. General Gordon Packner. Well met to you, my saint. I shall now crown you by conquest the new Santa of the North Pole. You have defeated North Pole, and your ex-slave army has purged it of any real resistance. The people rest uneasy with you taking the throne like this. The people rest uneasy with you taking the throne like this. It will take some work to undo this. Another thing that we need to do, chat, is in this game you can make celebrations that happen on an annual basis. We need to figure out how to make a celebration that's just Christmas, right? I mean, maybe we could do alternating years. We could have like Christmas, and then I don't know. We need to make that. We need to make that a thing pretty quick. High General of the North Pole. Yes, it's okay. We're gonna fire him. He sucks. So this will take some time to sort out. You are Santa of North Pole. I pray your reign is long. I am Goran Packner, the General of North Pole. I advise you on matters of war, military, and I will serve you loyally, that I swear. Now you will most certainly wish to know the state of the realm. North Pole's 5 territorial holdings make us a threat to others. The kingdom's personal army consists of 3,000 peasant workers, 2,000 soldiers, and 5 loyal knights who serve your cause. That's military matters. As for financial state of the realm, the kingdom has a total of 2,000 gold in its coffers, which is insignificant, but there's also 3,610 additional gold in the bank. My Santa. Now you are crowned. You may speak to the old crow if you wish for any tutoring matters of the realm. If you are unsure of what to do, I would highly recommend it. Though, if you would like to discuss it later, you may do so by returning to the throne room. We're going to speak to the old crow, and I'm going to give you guys the best tutorial in existence. This game actually should win an award for the best tutorial I've ever seen, right? So there's 3 options for the tutorials. There's the full information with all the details, give me the standard explanation, or the simple version, which is what we're going to take. Welcome, my saint. Prepare yourself. That actually works well. Welcome, my saint. Prepare yourself for some good old tutoring. Now, firstly, I must ask how you'd prefer me to explain these things. I could give you a full explanation with every detail, a fair explanation with less of the less relevant detail, or if you wish, a version so simple a mere child could comprehend it. All right, we're going to take the simple version. This is the best tutorial ever made. Explore menu, do things, you win. Top menu, show gold, show lands is help. Hire men, fight men, you win. Move on to the next section. Mercenary companies. Hire mercs. Kill enemies. You win. Move on to the next section. Hire staff. Staff work. You win. Make friends. Friends trade. You win. In diplomacy, naturally. Thanks for the 3 cents. Pie. Here's me. Next section. Laws. Make laws. Imprison everyone. You win. Move to the next section. Kingdom upgrades. Buy buildings. Use them, and you win. Next is the throne room, which is hire steward, ignore throne room, you win. Bet gold, your guy wins, you win in the local fight pit, naturally. Always, animal, always win. Nothing but win. Visit the royal bank, store gold, savings grow, you win. In the other buildings, build buildings, visit them, you win. In the kingdom reports, read reports, understand more, you win. And then explore the realm, explore land, discover all, you win. End the turn button, end turn, invade enemy, you win. And that's Warsim's tutorial. My saint, that's everything. Would you like to review any areas of this tutoring selection? No, we're good. I mean, if your guy loses, you don't win. But if your guy wins, you win. So this is true. This is definitely. Welcome to Warsim. We are Santa, the saint of the North Pole. This is our kingdom. Well, I think that the first thing that we should do is see what our visitors have to say. Welcome to your throne room. Here you can deal with visitors from across your realm and beyond. As time goes on, you may find a number of visitors swelling to huge lines. As ruler, you may choose to deal with every last visitor. But if the task becomes too monotonous, you should look to hiring a steward. Stewards would deal with visitors left unseen by you at the end of the turn. Be careful who you hire as a steward, though. Stewards can have a number of different traits that affect how they manage and deal with throne room visitors. The traits are xenophobe, dungeoneer, kind-hearted, military, goblin friend, and money grabber. Money grabbers will never spend money. Goblin friends will always be nice to goblin visitors, so that's just hiring Hazazah, right? Military, they will always recruit hireable visitors. Kind-hearted, they will always act with kindness. Dungeoneer, they will imprison most throne room visitors. And xenophobe, they will be unfavorable to any non-humans. You enter your throne room and take your place on the throne of the North Pole. You are told that there is a little line of 20 people waiting to see you. Naturally, I think we should see the first visitor, right? You are visited by a farmer who says, "A dispute needs to be settled. My neighbor has climbed over my fence and punched my son in the face. I want to beat him back. But his father is far stronger than I am, and encourages this behavior. There are, however, none stronger than you. So I have come hoping that you can solve this matter." Well, our options are warn the neighbor that if this happens again, he will be jailed. Your son is weak, just like you, I won't help. And to the dungeons with him! So we could throw him in the dungeon. We could tell him his son is weak. Or we could threaten to jail his neighbor. What should we do, chat? What do you think? Just remember, to the dungeons with him is always an option. I mean, I think one or two are probably the best options. To the dungeons, you bother. I mean, we need to make people happier right now because, we kind of are in ex-slaves. I think warn the neighbor that if this happens again, he will be jailed. The father smiles and bows at you and then says, bless you with all my heart, my Santa. Send in the next guest. You are visited by a one-armed stable hand who enters the throne room with two boys following him. Hail and well met. I bring you my sons, my lineage is strong. We are the strongest in our village. I'll let you have my boys for your army, but only at 50 gold per head. What do you say? We can pay them 100 gold, forcefully enlist the boys and pay nothing, refuse the offer, to the dungeons with him, to the dungeons with them all! Forcefully enlist and pay nothing? Dude, that's... Oof. I might just refuse the offer, because I'm not sure what the local economy is like right now. Send in the next guest. You are visited by a drunk man who says, hey, I was drinking. I thought, really funny joke. You want to hear it? Chad, do you want to hear the joke? It's not bad if they're decently trained soldiers, but I think they're just peasants. So it's actually kind of a ripoff, if it's the one I'm thinking. Oswix. Naturally, we want to hear the joke? All right. Why did the monarch visit the position? Because he was a king. Because his back was aching? It was aching? Chat, what? I mean, my back is a king of this land, even. You currently have 2,000 gold coins. He seems to be awaiting your response to the joke. Chat, what's our response to the joke? That was a good joke. That was an okay joke. That joke was terrible. That was a good enough joke to be paid 20 gold. That joke was so bad. To the dungeons with him! Offer to hire him as a member of staff. I think we should hire the man. Hire this man as the castle imbecile. Pay the man cricket noises. Lol, yep. I think I'm going to offer to hire the man as a member of staff. The jester says he is currently busy. The jester says he's currently busy learning an apprenticeship and does not wish to be a jester. That seems like a bug. It should say the drunk man says. But he does not wish to jump. He does not wish to work for us. You are visited by a stick collector who claims one of your soldiers farted on his crops and demands compensation for that smelly wheat. To the dungeons with the stick collector shouts, "Curse you, may demons burn your lands!" +1 prisoner, -1 public opinion. On forward. You are visited by an old man who asks if you could spare a few coins, as the man's dog is starving and there is no game in the wild. Man's dog is starving, chat. To the dungeons with him. It's always to the dungeons. All about generosity. I'm leaning 1 because one's let's actually, chat, I have an important question. Are we actually RPing Santa here? Because if we're RPing Santa, then naturally give him the coins, right? So if we're RPing Santa, I guess if people ask us for money, we have to give them the money. Basically. Hey, we fixed our public opinion problem from the guy who farted. The old man smiles and bows before he's saying, Blessed. Blessed. Is the name Nick Kringle? Thank you. We need to do a playthrough of this where we're just a murdering, send everybody to the dungeons, and just play, name him Nicolas Cage. We should really do meme playthroughs of this game where we just name him Nick Cage and just do that. I'll make that happen at some point. You are visited by a stick collector who says he wishes to bless you to bless his soul. By a stick collector who says he wishes you to bless his soul. Chat, do we bless him? Condemn his soul. I love that that's an option. Happy holidays. You give your blessings by saying happy holidays and Merry Xmas to the mains. And the old man smiles with a grin. so wide it stretches ear to ear before leaving. It's kind of terrifying. You are visited by a traveling bard. He asks you to play a song on his vampiric lute. I'm a decent musician. I shall play you a short song. Do we want to hear his song, chat? I mean, it seems to be a resounding yes. So I will pause the background sounds and we'll listen to his song. The bard nods and prepares to play for you. +1 to the Musicians Guild. That was very short. All right. He did say it was a short song, so that was acceptable. I'm kind of leaning that was acceptable. Sounded like music. You are visited by another traveling bard who also wants to play you a song in his vampiric lute. Oh wait, no, this. Never mind. This is the same one. I just thought he left. All right, let him leave your court. We'll let him leave. You are visited by a local farmhand who wishes to do his part for the country and fight. Welcome to the military. Free soldier. Fuck yeah. The local farmhand says thank you. Having the personal blessing of the Santa is astounding. I shall try my best to bring you honor and glory. 12 people waiting. Your guards bring forward a man who is accused of plotting to murder you. Fucking explain yourself. I didn't do it, I swear. Ask the arresting guard for a statement. The guard informs you, I have my doubts, Saint. Perhaps he is innocent. What do we do, chat? Release him? Release him to the dungeons. Release him. The man leaves your throne room. 11 people are waiting. You are visited by a traveling bard. Seems green. He asks to play you a song on his little goblin drums. Ooh, I think that's new. And he says, I'm pretty good at this. I shall play you a lengthy song. Naturally, we will humor him and listen. Naturally. I like the knuckle roll on that. I would say that is either a great performance or a performance so good that we pay him money. So, who? Chat says 2. Minus 50 gold coins. The drummer looks at you blankly. You are and what do we want to do now, chat? Do we want to ask him to play again? Do we want him to leave the room? Do we want him... We could ask his name? Chat wants to hire him. Let's ask his name. The drummer reveals his name to be Ulak. That, or maybe that's just the sound that he makes when he scratches his rear. One of the two. Hello, Ulak. Ulak, the traveling drummer. Let's offer to hire him. The drummer says he will work for 34 gold. And he tells you that his skill level as a drummer is 81. That's actually not bad. That's I've seen lower. I've also seen higher, but that's pretty cheap. So that's 34 gold per year. You arrived to Great Goblin Bards. I mean, Goblin Bongo Cat. So we are now hiring a drummer. You'll hire Ulak, the drummer. He's your new court musician. Welcome to the court, Ulak. There are 10 people waiting. Have you seen this game before, Sideways? Or, if you're familiar with it, then I'll just keep playing. But hello, it's good to see you. You are visited by a mud-covered stick collector. There's lots of stick collectors in this realm who wishes to do his part and for the country and fight. Free soldiers. The mud-covered stick collector nods and at you, and then heads out to collect his new uniform and equipment. On his way out, he shouts a loud war cry and that startles a few of your guards. Looks like something you've played before. Yeah. It's like this game's basically text-based Bannerlord or text-based Mountain Blade Kingdom Builder thingy. It's played entirely on the numpad or on the number keys, or with a virtual keyboard. This game's also completely playable in text-to-speech, which I think is neat. So, thumbs up to that. Send in the next visitor. You are visited by a short blacksmith who wants to join your army because he desperately needs gold. Three soldiers. The short blacksmith beats his chest for a moment and then lets out a war cry before jogging out to collect his equipment. This game's also like the price of a burger. It's $8. Hopefully he's a good soldier. I think he's Fatstone King. Good name. I think he's probably I mean maybe short on work, but who knows? Hopefully he's a good soldier. We'll probably never hear from him again. $8? Yeah. It is a pretty cheap burger. It's either an expensive burger or a cheap burger depending on how good the burger is. Oswigs. You remain on your throne to look at your guards, and then quickly snap to attention and tell you that there are currently 8 people waiting in line to see you. You are visited by an armed bandit who says he will serve your army for a fee of 8 gold. I mean, he's armed. That's actually a cheap soldier. We'll take him. You order the gold to be paid, and the recruitment is done. The armed bandit shouts, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you," before dashing to collect his equipment. 7 people. You are visited by an armed man who says he wishes to fight for you, but you shall pay off his small debts of 32 gold before you can join. You know, if I told too many cow puns, Armor, chat would be mooing at me. But unfortunately, I think if we were to dedicate too heavily to cow puns, we'd just be milking it for all it was worth. And by the time we got to the utter end of it, chat would just all unsub, like as they're doing right now. You are visited by an armed man who's yeah, okay. Chat, do we pay off his debts? Because I think we do, because we are Santa. $32 gold, not too bad. 1 soldier, minus 32 gold. You order the gold to be paid, and the recruitment is done. The armed man says, "Thank you so much." And he leaves to collect his equipment. 6 people. You are visited by an old man who is collecting money for a village after their crops have failed. He seems desperate. All right, chat, how much money do I give him? Seems desperate. That's a lot of gold, homing drunk. 700 is a lot, especially this early in the game. Give him the 78 gold. The old man smiles at you, then nods and leaves. Sometimes if you give them too much, they just laugh at you and cackle and scamper off like they stole it. You were visited by a foreign farmer who wants to join your army because the wind whispered that he should. I'm sure that's fine. Good luck. 4 people waiting. You were visited by a man who claims one of your soldiers whacked him with a stick and broke one of his teeth. Squinting at his teeth. Claims. I want to speak with my soldier. But we'll pay him the 15 gold. You order reparations be paid, the gold is accepted, and then the peasant man begins tearing up with happiness before wiping up the tears, smiling and leaving. My neighbors above me, Armor, are up. Also, I hope you're doing well, Armor. Today's my 2000th stream. We're having some Warsim times. 3 people. Send in the next visitor. Oh boy. You are visited by a man who identifies himself as Silvertongue and claims he can help you with higher public opinion. With your gain a higher public opinion with your people, or a lower one if you wish, or a price, of course. Wow. How do you increase public opinion? How do you decrease? Curious. How do you? This is new to me. I go around fabricating great, unprovable tales of your story, of your glory and kindness, paying for drunks and pauper children to join me in vouching for your greatness and spreading the word. It's foolproof, I assure you. So propaganda? How do you decrease public opinion? I go around telling people of your misdeeds and evil. I'll tell them that you fart in the soup of orphans and battle in the tears of... and bathe in the tears of widowed women. It's easy to fabricate infamy. And foolproof, I assure you. Yeah, he walks around saying that Santa will visit your homes every year. That's expensive, though. To the dungeons with him. I think we are going to legitimately earn our fame and fortune. +1 prisoner. The Silvertongue stares at you for a moment with an angry expression, then takes a step forward. However, a vigilant guard leaps forward and punches the man in the face before other guards quickly grab him and take him away. +1 prisoner. There's 2 people waiting. You are visited by a bard who claims to have come in possession of a basket full of magic fruit and claims it can be fed to soldiers to make them stronger. He asks for 50 gold for it. And he calls it Blue Tree and claims it came from a magical farm. So this is actually a legit thing. This is a consumable item. I don't know how much he has, though. We will buy it. Ooh, yep, that's worth it. Definitely worth it. The bard hands you the fruit and takes his gold and leaves. You have them taken away and put in storage. We have a single visitor left. Then we get to go do other things. You are visited by an orange earthen scion mindwalker from the brown-bannered Tsardom, who seeks refuge with you, having recently come to odds with the ruler. What are you at odds about? I suggested that the ruler seek guidance of counsel instead of making alone decisions and was outcast. With that knowledge, chat, what do we do? We also don't know how powerful these guys are. This is true. We have no idea how powerful these guys are. You say 1. Chat says 1. All right. -2 relation with the brown-bannered Tsardom. +1 earthen scion mindwalker. And he walks in and bows to us. All right. We're gonna back out of this screen. Let's go to diplomacy. Let's go see who our neighbors are. So we seem to have rebels, Bandit Horde, goblins, independent territories, the North Pole Militia, which is rebels. Yet my head diplomat is not skilled enough to speak with the Goblin clans, bandit groups, adventurer groups, and you maroons, the Goblin slaver. So let's go to the independent territories. So we have the Rose Dusk Legion, Grinkarok, the Brown Bannered Tsardom, the Pincer Granite Blood Court, and the Invincible Despotate. Despotate! Alright, well, so we're at war with two of them. Despotate! Oh, this game is wonderful. We need a better diplomat. This is true. We do need a better diplomat. But let's start at the bottom and work our ways up. The Invincible Despotate! So the Invincible Despotate leader is Despot Zeskelfran the Stone Grinder. They have very little wealth, not much lands, and only 15 units. Note, one demon can probably kill my whole army. And these are demons. Or invincible half-demons, actually. They're half-demons. I just like that they are the Invincible Despotate. Kingdom information. The Invincible Despotate is made up of 15 troops and is led by Despot Zelsfaz the Stone Grinder, known as the descendants of demons and men. Half-demons are a race with a very complicated past and a history of suffering and destruction. Its people are said to be invincible, unbeatable by any single combat. They believe in hate and suffering and are considered by many to be a force of evil in the world. They are a civilized group. Their famed words are, "They call what we did." Let's look at their laws and legislation. They use little lords. Little lords! Little lords! Their money is called little lords. They have coins, they call them little... It's like Canadians calling our fucking dollar coins loonies. They use little lords. They do not believe in non-essential combat and thus have no arena. They sacrifice half of their population upon death of their ruler. They harbor slavery within their lands and profit from it. And they have a system of equality and spread their armies equally between themselves. That's how equality works? Okay. All right, well, that's the Despotate. You guys want to... Well, actually, let's just back up. Let's go to the Pincer Granite Blood Court. The Pincer Granite Blood Court is ruled by Crimson King Quothki of the Ancient Isle. They have 532 units, total wealth of 2,307, and they have 4 lands. They are a race of Brown Coast Corpse Lords. Let's go to some kingdom information. Known and feared as undead masters of the underworld, fearsome and violent force of warrior undead. Its people are renowned for their brown skin, and its people live on the coast. They believe in hate and suffering and are considered by many to be a force of evil in the world. The group are mostly civilized folk. Their famed words are Mother's Masks. Laws and legislation. They use Blue Durin as their currency. They do not believe in non-essential combat and have no arena. They sacrifice 1/10 of their population upon the death of the ruler. Oh, okay, so they're much better than the demons. They harbor slavery within their lands and profit from it. They are centralist government and keep most of their armies in their capital. Lords of the Underworld, pretty much, yep. Well, let's back out from there. Let's check out the Brown Bannered Tsardom, who we just got somebody from. Okay, these guys actually have like a force. The Brown Bannered Tsardom. Their leader is Bayar the Carnivorous. They have a lot of lands and some money. Known as a group of magic users who keep themselves withdrawn from the world. They are powerful and use magic to conceal themselves from outsiders. Its people are renowned for their orange skin, and its people worship the earth. They are a highly civilized group, and their famed words are, "We are where you were slaughtered." Okay. I think we should be friends with these guys if at all possible. Let's check out their laws and legislation. They use holy eagles as their currency. They do not believe in non-essential combat, thus have no arena. They do not allow slavery within their lands and punish those who support it. And they have a system of independence. Each boyar is the ruler of their own territory. Let's back out. Let's go to trade and diplomacy. Let's ask for a trade agreement. Brown bannered Tsardom are pleased to trade with you. Tsar Vahyar the Carnivorous sends a small token of goodwill to seal the deal. Plus 16 relation with the brown bannered Tsardom, and you now have a trade route with the brown bannered Tsardom. Plus 166 gold coins. Hey, look at that. Hell yeah. Off to a good start, I think. We made friends. I can hire troops from them. They didn't seem too bothered that I accepted that dude, so that's good. Let's check out their leader information. He's got a lot of skill. He's friendly. Doesn't sound very... His name doesn't make him sound friendly, but apparently he's friendly. Can I just shout out the fact that he's got, like... Either he's got a really tall head and a very big forehead, or he's got a really little... Or a really big crown, or it's just a very tall head and a very small crown. I like to think it's a very tall head and a very small crown. We should probably see how skilled the average guy is. What, the other... Which guys? I mean, I'm not invading anybody right now. These guys are the guys I'm not at war with. There's still the two factions I'm at war with. Are you referring to these guys? This guy? The Brown Corpse Lords? Your information? Or just a friendly guy that only eats meat? I mean, most of America. Oh, to see if we could hire troops? Oh, I mean, well, maybe. Personality. Stupid. Well, that's... interesting. Okay, well. You know, I want to try and vassalize these guys. Not right now, but once we get some more military. Let's check out these two independent factions that we're at war with. And also, those guys that we're trading with, we might, yeah, just buy some dudes from them. But we have to check the troop tree to figure that out. Well, these guys have a lot of units. King Grokloch, the Door Watcher. They're the Grick Horok. They are masked arch Blograki. Blograki. I love a plate of Blograki. It's great, especially with some beef in it. You know, you just like toss it in the pan with some butter and just put a little bit of shaved garlic on that. A little bit of lemon zest and a little bit of tomato sauce. It's great. Great pasta dish. Blograki kind of sounds like pasta dish. Like, I don't know. Maybe bad person. View relations with other factions. They don't like the bandits. They don't like Krut. They kind of... They have decent relations with the Invincible Despotate. They don't really like the Brown Bannered Tsardom, who we just got a trade deal with. So I guess that's good. Actually, who does the Brown Bannered Tsardom not like? I want to keep them happy. Brown Bannered Tsardom. Trade and diplomacy, I think. Nope. Well, I mean, we... Actually, hold on. I need to check their troop tree while I'm here, so let's back out of this menu. Is it under 2? Troop tree. That's it. Okay, so they have Orange Earthen Scions, which have 111 battle score. That's actually... Their Scion Mindwalkers are actually pretty good, which is what we got. That 222 battle score. That's not bad. It's not bad. They're not bad at all. Now I'm curious. What's the battle score of the Invincible Despotate? Because maybe we should try and... Oh, shit, that was the wrong button. Well. Oh, so for a small fee of 4,500, we can get an alliance with them. Anyway, that's not the button I wanted to hit. I hit 4 instead of 0. Kingdom information troop tree. Holy shit. That's a lot of battle score. No, they don't need many units. 5,994 battle score on their invincible half-demon champions. I mean, they are called invincible half-demon. They better be strong. I mean, come on. If you're an invincible half-demon and you're not stupidly overpowered, something is busted. Like, something is busted. If you're not stupidly overpowered, and that is. All right, well, I mean, we should back up. Invincible half-demons? Strong? Shocking. I know, right? Well, I wonder... Trade and diplomacy. See if I can hire some troops from them. Oh, they have no demons for hire. Sad. Now, I'm not too worried about the Blood Court. Let's check the Rose Dusk Legion. The Rose Dusk Legion. They are the Nightmen. They are led by Chief Sheriff Ailson the Teary-Eyed. They don't have too many units, and they don't have too much wealth. But we're at war with them. Meaning I could, like, slam them a couple times and then try and bring them in. Ailson? I think so? Ailson? But we can check the kingdom information. Known to the wider land, arrogant to the civil. Known to wander the land, arrogant to the civil customs of other men. Its people worship the night. They are a civilized group. And their famed words are life, service. Also stupid is the Nightman. Huh. Few relations with other factions. They obviously love themselves. Okay, so these guys are actually, like, kind of friendly with our allies. They are stupid, though. And they're not super strong. They don't have a ton of lands. Alright, well, let's check their troop tree. Yeah, see, this is a much more normal troop, right? 62 battle score on their Barbarian. 132 battle score on the Warriors and 227 on their Proms. And they're not that strong. So these guys pretty weak. Try to make peace with the idiot? Sure, why not? Let's try and make peace. Well, actually, hold on. But before I do that, let's check their laws. Or maybe I can't do that until I'm friends with them. I guess I can't. So let's offer peace. Well, this game, Resfane, is basically like an interactive holiday tale because we're playing as Santa in the kingdom of the North Pole. Yeah. But this is a good lurk game. You were looking to seek peace with the Rose Dusk Legion. Send a knight. Send your diplomat. Let's send a knight as an emissary. You send your emissary to off to try and speak with the Rose Dusk Legion. Anything could happen, but several things can impact the chances of success. +1, due to the Rose Dark Legion's laser personalities being stupid. -1 chance because I said, well, they don't like us. Your emissary carries a request for peace and is met by the ruler of the Rose Dusk Legion, Chief Sheriff Ailson, the Teary-Eyed, who says, To make peace, we ask for a nominal amount of gold. Pay as Wergild. As a Wergild of 450. Peace is yours. So if we pay them a Wergild of 450, peace is ours. What is a Wergild? I think is the correct thing to say. What is this amount of gold based on? Let's do that. Wergild is made up of 50 coins per -1 relation you have with the Rose Dusk Legion. Oh. Wergild is also spelled Wergeld, or Wergeld, an Old English man payment. In ancient Germanic law, the amount of compensation paid for a person committing an offense to an injured party, or a death of his family. Wergild, at first nominal, was later regulated by law. Oh, interesting. Will you accept a lesser amount? Your emissary's attempt to reduce the Wergild is rejected. Well, I don't. They might raid my lands. Thank you for the Wikipedia copy pasta, unless you type that up in like 10 seconds, which in case I'm very impressed. 450 isn't that much in the grand scheme of things, no. I think I'm gonna actually take their piece. You are now at peace with the Rose Dusk Legion, minus 450 coins, plus 450 coins for the Rose Dusk Legion, plus 3 relation with the Rose Dusk Legion, and plus 4 public opinion for peace. We are going to attempt to vassalize these guys, but we need to get more powerful. So let's back up. Right, you're the stupid one. So we are now, let's, you guys want to trade? The invincible Das Patate are very happy to trade with you and move that deal to take place immediately. All right, we'll trade with the Das Patate. It's my 2,000 stream numbers, squad. Hope you're feeling all right. All right, so we are trading with the Dusk. We are trading with everybody. We've made peace with the Rose Dusk Legion. We're trading with the Tsardom. We are kind of ignoring the Blood Court, I think. I mean, I could ask them to trade. They might be down. Yeah, we're trading with Krampus and their half-demons, naturally, yes. With Sir Krampus, the slaver. Or maybe a Krampus and their Krampote peoples. Apparently I can attempt to vassalize these guys, because they don't actually have that many. You know, fuck it, let's just attempt it. Why not? We're looking to attempt to turn the Pincer Granite Blood Court into your vassal. As you are much more powerful than they are, they may consider your offer. Your offer. Turning a kingdom into a vassal state will allow you to extract tax of both gold and troops from them. However, you will be expected to protect them from would-be enemies. Send your knight as a diplomat. Do they read the Necrampicon? I hope so. Yeah, our diplomat does seem a little bit shallow. The default diplomat and, like, head of security and everything are all, like, they're, like, mid-tier decent, and they're always the same at the start. I think you can, like, customize who they are if you do a full custom kingdom, but... What race are these guys again? These guys are, like, undead zombies. They're like, undead worshippers, basically, that live on the coast. So they're beach-dwelling undead people. You could send your emissary off to speak. You send your emissary off to speak with the Pincer Guild of the Blood Court, and anything could happen, but several things can impact your chances of success. He is stupid. Oh. Your emissary carries out the request to the Pincer Granite Blood Court to become your vassal, and the Crimson King Koski of the Ancient Isle turns your emissary away and refuses to meet you or hear your request. Alright, we'll try again next year. They will provide Santa's workforce. I mean, let's just confirm. What are they? Kingdom information. Mother's Masks is their name. They are mostly civilized folk. Their leader is stupid. They're brown coursed corpse lords. So they're necromancer zombie worshippers, basically. Undead surfers would be pretty OP. They just walk underwater back to the shore if they fell off. Yes, that is pretty OP. I mean, surfers just swim back to shore, but undead surfers are like, it's not like they can drown. All right, and then of course there's the goblin militias and the rebels. Let's have a peek at the rebels. That's a lot of money to make them disband. That's a lot of money to make them stop raiding you. So Faradal the Kinslayer is also like one of the names that doesn't change from game to game in this. Again, I think you can customize that if you do the fully custom world. That is a lot of money in general, yeah. In video game or out of video game. They have 7,000 men. 9 total lands, which means they have a lot more income than me too. Pretty standard battle score. Give us the moon and we might stop. We'll think about it if you give us the moon. Why do you hear Minecraft music? Because I'm listening to Minecraft music as background noise. Because this game has music, but it's pretty repetitive, so I just put on Minecraft music when I don't know what to listen to, because I like Minecraft music. It's kind of like not offensive and just chill. All right, well, that's main priority problem numero uno. Let's just jump back into diplomacy. Well, no, actually, before I jump into diplomacy, let's I'm just gonna take a real quick piss break because I can't quite think straight when you need to pee, you know? All right, lots to do before we end this year. So before I start spending money, let's look at kingdom upgrades. Productivity buildings. Yeah, that's where stuff gets expensive very quickly. Other buildings could give the Goblin Slaver a personal guard and makes the Goblin Slaver less likely to get killed. Wooden climbing picks makes climbing knights more likely to exceed. Let's check income buildings. Hey, I know what we're doing. We're building ourselves a tribute collection box so that people can pay us tributes. That'll pay off. We don't have much money. Arena buildings. Yeah, we can't afford any of that. Productivity, which we already know we can't afford. Guilds and order buildings. Also can't afford anything in there. Military buildings. We could put up recruitment signs. Could also give our dudes better battle score. Our kingdom, we started a Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, annual Patreon subscriptions are currently 16% off until the end of the month. So you got another 11 days if you want. Yes, pay tribute to Santa in the format of cookies and milk. Man, if I could name my currency, I would name it cookies and milk. All right. Let's do Old militia weapon stash. But there goes all of my money. I am now broke. All right, well, I guess we shall go explore the realm. I think we should go to the northern lands first, just because North Pole. So we've discovered the ruins of the Slavers' Fort because I destroyed it. You wander across the northern soil, but find nothing. You wander seemingly in circles. As you are walking, you discover treasure. It's sunstone. It's worth 80 gold coins. Excellent. We found 80 gold exploring the north. We could visit the local... Well, actually, let's look at the laws of the land. Taxes and subsidies. We could remove gambling tax, which is silly. Banking tax, up to 110 gold per land per year. End land tax, large popularity boost. Subsidize arena, higher battling max, more cost, that lets you gamble more. Tax, so tax people's tax, more tax equals more tax, which we're not going to do. Let's check out other rules. Bandit Scourge, offer 5 gold reward for bandits. Longer harvest, peasants' issues may rise. Forgive outlaws. Force everyone to wear hats. We forced everybody to wear hats. Scribe notes down your demands on a scroll and heads off to action them. The people are upset at the loss of freedom, but are happy that they have cool hats to wear. It's kind of balanced. It's not free money. You pay for the money with reputation and renown. But everybody has mandatory hats now. And we can rename the kingdom. Declare a different number for your current year. We can change the year. Change your role. We are Saint and Santa, Mr. Which we could change. We have no slaves. We have no slaves or soldiers to free because we already did that. All right. Goblin policies. I kind of want to begin I kind of want to ban goblin slavery. We can be daddy. Yes, we can absolutely be daddy. You too, Armor 87. Chat, do we want to be daddy? Yes, no. Open chat poll. Oh, the no slaves. I mean, yeah. I think that we should roll with no slaves. I think we're gonna do that, but I can't afford to do that yet. He's more of a grandpappy. You're not wrong. Yeah, we could go with grandpa, but that would be less funny. Would indeed be less funny. I guess we're just going to change our title to Daddy. Daddy will put you on the naughty list? Yeah. I mean, we are Sugar Santy. This is true. So whenever people refer to us as personal, they're just going to refer to us as Daddy. All right. Crime policies. Your scribe, okay, so keeps prison low. Declare max execution law, which keeps the prison population low. That's expensive. All right, we're gonna do the most important thing. Welcome to the arena. You enter the Grand Arena, one of the core parts of your society. Here, warriors battle, and locals pay to watch. The arena is owned by the local business person named Maggot, the untrustworthy raider. And the entry fee is to watch a fight is 25 gold. Fortunately, we still have money left. We're gonna watch the fight as well as bet on it. Actually, let's speak with the owner first. You are greeted by the owner named Maggot the Untrustworthy Raider. And he says, well met. How can I help? What is this place? I want to stop taxing you. I would like you to close this place down. Who are you? I would like to purchase this place from you. I'd like to purchase this place from you. A lot of money. Okay. Who are you? I am the owner of this place. I try to keep it in order as best I can. All right. Well, let's bet on a fight. Daddy Santa has a gambling problem. Chat, who do we bet on? Goblin or a peasant? There's a goblin and a peasant. Who do we bet on? One or two? Seems to be pretty much tied. Definitely leaning goblin. All right, I guess we're betting on the goblin. I'm going to bet 10 gold coins because I don't have much faith in this goblin. The crowd scream and shout, and the two fighters emerge and begin the long walk to the center of the arena. The moment is tense as ever. The moment is tense as they get ever closer until they are almost in reach. The crowd waits eagerly for the first blow. Okay, so this is new because the fight stuff has been reworked since I last played. The peasant gets a light stab in the chest. Minus 30 HP for Goblin. No! The crowd starts chanting, peasant, 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 imagine being chanted peasant. The peasant tries to attack, but falls over on his own feet. The goblin blocks the peasant. Minus 14 HP for peasant. Goblin gets a good hit on the peasant. Minus 23 HP for the peasant. The peasant points his blade towards the goblin and grins. Peasant strikes the goblin as hard as possible. Well, at least we know that the most he can do is minus 30. Minus 30 HP for Goblin. The crowd starts chanting, peasant, 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 peasant. Who's the weakest bandit gang? We do need to figure out who we're going to attack. Yeah, we haven't figured that out yet. And the peasant gets a fairly light hit on the goblin. And the goblin gets a little hit on the peasant. Minus 15 HP for peasant. Goblin gets a head hit on the peasant. Minus 26 HP for the peasant. Goblin swings, but the peasant misses wide. Goblin trips over.
Overkill.
The peasant strikes the goblin as hard as possible. We lost some money, chat. This is your fault. The goblin has given his life for the arena. The crowd cheers for the peasant, the mighty victor. Peasant wins. All right, time to bet on another fight. We pay 25 gold. Who do we bet on? The Servant Brown Coast Corpse Lord or the Goblin Berserker? Dang it, Chet. Yeah, it's all Chet's fault. Seeing lots of people pointing towards the Brown Coast Corpse Lord. Did we check their power? I don't think we did. Once again, seems pretty even. You're very confident in that Corpse Lord? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's leaning Corpse Lord. All right, Corpse Lord. How much money do we bet? Let's bet 50 to try and make our money back. Servant Brown Coast Corpse Lord versus the Goblin Berserker. The crowd scream and shout, and the two fighters emerge and begin the long walk to the center of the arena. The moment is tense. They get ever closer until they are almost in reach. The crowd waits eagerly for the first blow. Yeah, that's a big HP difference. The Servant Brown Corpse Lord gets smashed by a bottle thrown from the crowd. Minus 25 HP for the Corpse Lord. I mean, I bet on the Corpse Lords, so we're all right. And now chat gets to bet tickets. Servant Brown Corpse Lord gets a very sharp and well-placed strike on the Goblin Berserker. Crowd starts chanting. Servant Brown Corpse Lord. Servant Brown Corpse Lord. That doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it? Servant Brown Corpse Lord swings his sword around several times for the crowd. And the Corpse Lord swings for the Goblin Berserker, but slips and slightly misses. The Corpse Lord stabs the Goblin's Berserker's body, minus 40 HP for the Goblin Berserker. And the Goblin Berserker turns around and gets 2 fast hits on the Corpse Lord, minus 61 HP for the Corpse Lord. And the Servant Brown Corpse Lord and Goblin Berserker get caught in a parry. The Servant Brown Corpse Lord manages to slightly break the parry and gets a good hit. It's a critical hit. Minus 75 HP for the Goblin Berserker. Goblin Berserker is... And we win 75 gold from our bet. Haha! There we go. We paid off that first one. The Goblin Berserker will never breathe again. The crowd roars and chants. Corpse Lord leaves victorious. Let's do it, like maybe 1 or 2 more. Pay the 25 gold fee. All right, chat. Do we bet on the Gladiator or the infuriated invincible half-demon champion? Hey, cheers, Chazmats. I think I saw you follow the other night. That playthrough is almost finished, actually. It's got 1 more VOD left to go up. I'm definitely not going to bet on the Gladiator. Chat's got the right idea. We're definitely going with the infuriated, invincible, half-demon champion, naturally. And I'm going to bet my 73 gold coins. I have a lot of faith. The crowd roars and the 2 fighters emerge from either end of the arena, and march ever closer. The bloodthirsty crowd watch closely and awaiting the first blow. I just look at that. I see. Here's the thing. I have nothing against tabletop RPGs. I just don't like playing them. But that's cool. That's cool. If you want to post about that and share stuff about that, feel free to stick it up in the Discord, in the roguelikes room. Battle score is basically HP. Well, not only that, it's like, the reason I knew that this dude would be strong is the battle score of those dudes was far and away the highest that I saw. And I figured that if the Gladiator probably has a human battle score, it can't be above 300. And I knew for a fact he'd have about 5,000 battle score, so that high of HP. I have, to give you an idea, this faction has 15 dudes in it. And they have a stronger, like, faction score than me with 5,000. So, you know. The fight stops for a moment, and a naked goblin sneaks across the arena. Haas! Who let him out? The arena grounds before jumping over the barrier and escaping. I mean, it's just like football, I suppose. The crowd cheer for the infuriated, invincible half-demon champion, and chanting, "Keep it up, you can do it!" The infuriated, invincible half-demon champion blocks several hits from the Gladiator, and hits the Gladiator from an unexpected direction, minus 85 HP for the Gladiator, and hits him again with a hard head strike on the Gladiator, minus 44, and the crowd screams, chanting, "Kill Gladiator!" The infuriated half-demon champion swings the Gladiator and misses by mere inches.
Overkill.
And gets a devastatingly solid hit on the Gladiator, minus 91 HP for the Gladiator. Yeah, I didn't one-shot him, unfortunately. We are witnessing 1/15 of their population right now. Allegedly, yeah, cooler. Gladiator is no longer among the living. The crowd cheers and applauds the infuriated, invincible half-demon champion who leaves victorious. And we win 110 gold from our bet. Fuck yeah! I think we've actually lost money. Yeah, well, no, we've made 1 gold since we started betting. 1 gold. 1 gold. Gladiator just explodes into gore. Some part of it just explodes into gore. Chat, do you guys want to do more fights, or should we just end the year? We do need to figure out who we're going to fight, though. Arrange diplomacy. Independent territories. These guys. These guys don't like us, but their troop tree... Their dudes aren't that strong. Kingdom information. They are mostly civilized folk. Their famous words are orders and duty. Fight, fight, fight. Chat's bloodthirsty, apparently. I don't think I'm going to invade any of these guys. Although, even though we're at war with that independent faction, there's also the Bandit Horde. Which, again, really want us dead. And then there's the North Pole Militia, who is us. Check the militia stats. What are our stats? Low barrier of entry, 2 times recruits, minus 10 battle score, 25 gold per militia. We use old rusty blades and axes. Fire the militia leader. Well, I'll just let them hang out. Who do we invade? I wonder... Our head diplomat is not skilled enough to speak with goblin clans. We need to make peace with the goblins. Won't go after us, so we don't really need to attack the goblins. Oh, also, this is important. Your scribe pulls out a scroll of celebration and prepares to make amendments to it. We're going to declare a new celebration. Chat, what celebration does Santa and the North Pole declare? I'm going to let you guys come up with this one. I mean, come on. Like, realistically, what celebration does Santa and the North Pole have? Xmas? Reindeer racing. I like the way you think. The 4th of December? I don't know, no idea. Let's do a reindeer race. Let's make it every 5 years. Every 5 years. What do we have during the legendary reindeer race? Santamas Day? I mean, we'll do that once we have some more money, I think. Let's because this will cost us money, that's the thing. Well, obviously people get drunk. A parade, okay. And maybe celebratory fires? Which will obviously burn buildings down. No, that's for a St. Nick's Day gift giving, which will make a biannual thing because I can't make an annual one, but I can't do that until I have some more money because that will actually cost me money. Scribe pulls out a scroll and celebrations and pairs to make amendments to it. Excellent. So we now have 1 celebration. And since chat is clearly a bunch of bloodthirsty mongrels, let's go watch another fight. Pay 25 gold. Fee to watch the fight. Who do we bet on, chat? The Bandit Warlord or the Royal Knight? Royal Knight? Royal Knight? Yeah, naturally. I didn't select sacrifices, did I? How much gold would you like to bet? 84. The Royal Knight versus Bandit Scum. The crowd roars, and the two fighters emerge from either end of the arena and march ever closer. The bloodthirsty crowd watch closely, awaiting the first blow, and the Royal Knight cracks the Bandit Warlord in the head with force. Minus 45 HP for the Bandit Warlord. 254 HP versus 195 HP. But the Bandit Warlord kicks the Royal Knight over. And the crowd cheer for the Royal Knight. But the Royal Knight gets a fantastic strike on the Bandit Warlord. Minus 22 HP for the Bandit Warlord. Another 47 minus on the Bandit Warlord because a second good hit to the head with force. The Bandit Warlord tries to attack but misses the shot. Oof. The Royal Knight gets hit by a fireball, blasted by a Warlock in the crowd. God damn it! Minus 16 HP for the Royal Knight. This Bandit Warlord's paying off the crowd, I think, chat. Moving on. The Bandit Warlord shouts, "Come on, crybaby! Let's put an end to you!" The Bandit Warlord gets a pair of well-placed strikes on the Royal Knight. Minus 32 HP for the Royal Knight. The Bandit Warlord gets a very sharp strike on the Royal Knight. Minus 30 HP for the Royal Knight. But the Royal Knight gets a pair of well-placed strikes on the Bandit Warlord, minus 34 HP for the Bandit Warlord. The Royal Knight gets another dizzlingly quick strike on the Bandit Warlord, and he's down to 4 HP.
Overkill.
And then the Royal Knight gets a loud strike on the Bandit Warlord, minus 45 HP, and he gets overkilled. Obliterated into a lot of tiny pieces. Somebody get that fucking Warlock out of the crowd. These cheating tactics couldn't stop our night. I know, right? I mean, they had to make it exciting, right? Put on a show. The Bandit Warlord is defeated, and we don't know where the Warlock went. And the crowd cheers and shouts, and the Royal Knight leaves victorious. Yay. I mean, let's just keep going until we run out of money or we run out of fights. All right, so Who would we like to bet on? The Invincible Half-Demon Champion, which I think is the obvious bet, or Sir Erlen the Two-Timer? I think I know what we're betting on. All of our coins. The two fighters emerge from either end of the arena, march ever closer. The bloodthirsty crowd watch closely, awaiting the first blow. Maybe he two-time won? He won 2 times? The Invincible Half-Demon Champion stabs and rips a deep wound in Sir Erlen Two-Timer's chest. This guy's got a lot of HP. The Invincible Half-Demon shouts, "How does it feel knowing you're going to die?" Stabs him again for another 16 HP and gets a light, sharp hit on Sir Erlen Two-Timer.
Overkill.
And overkills him. He didn't even get a hit in. Poor bastard. That wasn't a fight. That was a like a massacre. All right. Well, we won. So let's go in again. All right, chat. Who do we fight? Who do we bet on? Do we bet on the Goblin Warlord or the Masked Arch Blograki Alpha? What if it's rigged? I mean, everybody's saying Masked Arch Blograki Glau Alpha. All right. How much gold do we bet? Let's just keep her going. You bet 126 gold. Gates slide open and the two fighters both quickly dash out towards each other, ready to spill some blood. The crowd are ecstatic. Cheers and roars of the crowd echo for miles around. Goblin number 1, says Diamond. Welp. The Masked Arch Blograki Alpha gets a hit on the Goblin Warlord. Goblin Warlord loses more than half of its HP almost immediately as the fight begins. The Masked Arch Blograki Goblin Warlord gets caught in a fury in a parry that quickly breaks.
Overkill.
And then gets overkilled. Minus nice HP for the Goblin Warlord because he gets a hard head strike on the Goblin Warlord. We win 189 gold from our bet. Sorry, Haz. You walk through to watch the fight and manage to get by the gate without paying. It seems no one notices. Well, who would we like to bet on? This is kind of like taking some of the fun out of it, because these invincible half-demon hell guards should be banned from the arena as far as I'm concerned. Because they are kind of literally invincible half-demons. At least it was minus 69. It was nice, yeah. It was nice of him. Hey, easy lemon. How much gold would you like to bet? Yes. 164. Max it out. Well, I mean, we know Max Verstappen won the F1 World Champions this year. It's like we don't need to keep cheering. Sheesh. The gates slide open, and the two fighters emerge readily from the gates, and the crowd is electric with their chanting that can be heard from miles around. Warriors charge in and prepare for death. This is not a fair fight. The Hellguard stabs the Barbarian. Well, okay, so I guess the Hellguard is like significantly lower battle score than the champions. The invincible half-demon Hellguard ducks a swift blow from the Barbarian like it's nothing, and the crowd cheers. The crowd begin chanting, "Kill invincible half-demon Hellguard!" What? And dead. He goes for a quick and sharp blow against the Night Barbarian. These fuckers need to be nerfed. The crowd cheers and applauds the invincible half-demon Hellguard and leaves victorious. Let's go again. Oh no, I had to pay this time? God damn it. Why charge Santa? Alright. Night Barbarian or Brown Coursed Corpse Lord? Brown Coast Corpse Lord. We're betting on that again. How much gold would you like to bet? The gold that I got. The gates slide open and the two fighters both quickly dash out towards each other, ready to spill some blood. The crowd is ecstatic. Cheers and roars. The crowd echoes for miles around. Okay, so Night Barbarian is 156 and 156. The Corpse Lord has 273. Brown Coast Corpse Lord tries to attack but misses. Second miss. But the third hit stabs the Night Barbarian deeply. Chest. Yeah, I know, you do make a valid point. It is stupid that the arena manager lets the invincible half-demons fight, but if an invincible half-demon wants to fight, you kind of have to say yes, because if you say no, they are an invincible half-demon. Although, that being said, I would like to see an invincible half-demon fight an invincible half-demon. The Corpse Lord stabs deeply into the Night Barbarian's body, leaving a huge gash. And the Corpse Lord ducks a swift blow from the Night Barbarian like it's nothing, and the crowd cheers! And just like that, gets a pair of dazzlingly quick strikes on the Night Barbarian. And he loses 67 HP. We win 332 gold from our bet. Yay! The crowd roars and chants, "High Brown Coast, High Corpse Lord!" It would be like, Brown Coast, High Corpse Lord, or something like that. And he leaves victorious. 2 fights are scheduled. Ooh, Orange Earth and Scion. They're like wizards, aren't they? We haven't seen one of them fight yet. Ooh. This is a tricky one, yeah. Hi, Stinky Warlord. Whoop, whoop. Yep, pretty much. Easy Lemon knows what's up. 2 because new fighter. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning on that. Question is, how much do we bet, chat? 1. We can get 1.5 gold. I like the 106. 106. Crowd roars as the two fighters emerge from either end of the arena and move ever closer. The bloodthirsty crowd watch closely. Ooh, okay. So it doesn't have a lot of HP. Brown corpse. This is important. Everybody listen up.
Although Frog may hop and lay eggs, Frog does not know about Easter. Any attempts to have Frog look for colored eggs may result in Frog keeping eggs away from other species.
Well, yeah, you absolutely should make sure that Frog doesn't look for colored eggs, because that's dangerous. Rhinestone, thank you very much for the 50th month. Welcome back. Today's my 2000th stream. Thanks for the resub, dude. We are Santa, and this is the Kingdom of the North Pole, by the way. And instead of Mr. Sir or Ma'am, you will refer to us as Daddy. By the way, chat demanded it. So Daddy Santa of the North Pole is currently witnessing blood battles and betting on them in the arena, naturally, as Daddy Santa would do. Yes, Santa with a blood sports gambling problem. Just wait until we find the scorpion pit sideways or the snail races. The snail races are a personal favorite of mine. They have full on animations and shit. This game is really stupid. But yeah, it's wild that we've made it this far, Ryan. Also, Ryan, I don't know what your plans for the next week are, but after the 24th, I'm not streaming until the 31st. So if you want to record something in there, we can do that. Also, I'm going to go see The Matrix on the 22nd. I don't know if you're planning to see that, but if you want to do like a review stream of that or a review podcast of that, we could do that. We could do that. All right. So the Brown Coast Corpse Lord gets a light, sharp hit on the orange earthen scion. Ooh. The orange earthen scion dodges an arrow shot from the crowd. The crowd is, like, not on our side here. And we're dead. Good thing we didn't bet at all. It's on HBO whatever the fuck. Alright. So, we lost money in our bet. Well, there's one more fight scheduled. These lads suck. Yeah, they're all bark and no bite. All right, you pay 25 gold fee to watch the fight. A masked arch-blogrocki tunneler versus a brown coast high corpse lord. But he's high though, Stone. The other one's a tunneler. It is a high corpse lord. I'm thinking two. I'm thinking two. Two. I don't care how much weed he has. Well, he's a high-ranking one, man. I'm not talking about weed. Yeah, and the other one's to underground. That's how low his low ground is. So he can stand up high and say, I have the high ground, and then the other one is like, no! And then he stabs him to death, right? That's how that goes. It's the masked arch-blogrocki tunneler versus the Brown Coast High Corpse Lord. The crowd scream and shout as the two fighters emerge and begin the long walk, the center of the arena. The crowd go almost completely silent. They get ever closer, finally they meet. I think we've been on the right side. Although, nice. Also, Stone, you should be a fan of the High Corpse Lord. You should be. I mean, like, look at that HP. The Brown Coast High Corpse Lord gets a huge strike on the masked arch-blogrocki tunneler. Minus nice. The Brown Coast High Corpse Lord gets hit by a thrown bottle from the crowd. Dunk on the head. The masked arch-blogrocki tunneler shouts, "So we dance with death!" Yeah, you do. The Brown Coast High Corpse Lord gets an impressive strike because the masked arch-blogrocki tunneler was too busy screaming about death. The Brown Coast High Corpse Lord swings for the masked arch-blogrocki tunneler and misses wide. The masked arch-blogrocki tunneler shouts, "So this is going to be extreme overkill when I'm done." The Brown Coast High Corpse Lord gets and the masked Bolgraki Tunneler get caught in a parry. But the Corpse Lord breaks the parry and instantly gets a sharp blow. This masked Arch Bolgraki Tunneler seems to babble a lot. And to say happy 2000s, you're off to work, hoping to get out early. Hopefully you get out early indeed, Ryan. You have a good day at work, yeah. The crowd began chanting, "Kill Brown Coast Corpse Lord." Okay. Woo! The Brown Coast High Corpse Lord gets an effortless-looking hit on the masked Bolgraki Tunneler. Minus 30 HP, leaving him at 68 out of 302. As the Brown Coast High Corpse Lord gets another huge strike on the masked Bolgraki Tunneler. Has he even really hit him? Like, the Corpse Lord got hit by a bottle. Pink Fluffy Llama! Thanks for the 10th month!
Happy 2000.
How you been? It's been a minute. Jack, can I get a big round of beers? For another resub. Cheers, dude. And the Brown Coast High Corpse Lord stabs and rips a deep wound in the masked Arch Bolgraki Tunneler's chest. Minus 43 HP. And the masked Arch Bolgraki Tunneler is given his life in the pursuit of glory, and the crowd cheers for the Brown Coast High Corpse Lord, the mighty victor. I think that the Arch Bolgraki, not very bright folk. Just gonna throw that out there. We win some money on our bet. Yay! And that's it for fights. Who's the grand champion? Ryan Stone, thanks for gifting a sub to Smitty the sub. I don't know who that is, but enjoy the ad-free viewing, Smitty. Thanks, Ryan. Cheers, dude. Like, seriously, thank you. You entered... Right, I was gonna check this. Lots of stress, doing better now? That's good to hear that you're doing better. I hope that the dip wasn't too bad. I've been all over the place in the past month, frankly, like literally all over the place. Gerhold the Iron Pirate is the current grand champion of the North Pole. Having recently assumed the title, he has no wins to... Having recently assumed the title, he has no wins to his name, but will soon fight his debut fight as the champion. Should we watch the Iron Pirate fight? Or should we bet on him? What do you think, Chad? Oh, I didn't even see the name. It just flew by, but enjoy the ad-free viewing, Smitty. Have you? Not bad. Must have been a minute. Normally I'm pretty good at remembering names, but that one just flew by. Is that how someone becomes Santa? You become Santa by... Was that a 3 months? Oh. Yeah, you have been subbed before. I'm, apparently very deft. Do you think they've all been gifted? That's possible. It's definitely a plausibility. But thank you. Seriously. One day you're gonna sub again. You've been too sick to be able to the past year. Wow. Enjoy your lurks, MMXSC. Just for hanging out all the same. Huh. I want to bet on the Grand Champion. You know, let's watch the Grand Champion fight. If he wins this fight, we'll bet on him next year. Gerhold the Iron Pirate versus Old Chiron Leaf-clad Fist Swinger. It is my own champion, yes. Well, he's the arena's champion. It just happens to be my local arena. It's like saying he's a regular at the local McDonald's. It's not necessarily my regular, but he's a regular at my local McDonald's kind of deal. Because you're appointed champion, Aqua. Screams echo all around as the fighters emerge from the gates. They stride closer as the horns blow at the crowd roar. Old Charon, the leaf-clad fist swinger, swings and misses. Gerhold the Iron Pirate. Gerhold the Iron Pirate swings for the Old Charon, but the hit is dodged. Gerhold the Iron Pirate swings and stabs. Old Charon, leaf-clad fist swinger. Not bad so far. Yeah, nice on the Old Charon leaf-clad fist swinger. Gerhard the Iron Pirate gets a second, very sharp and well-placed strike on Old Charon, Leaf-clad Fist Swinger. Old Galahad Fist Swinger steps back and avoids a swift blow from Old Charon. The Leaf-clad Fist Swinger swings, but the hit is dodged. And the Iron Pirate gets a good hit on the Leaf-clad Fist Swinger. Iron Pirate is indeed a good title, but, you know, Old Charon Leaf-clad Fist Swinger gets 2 fast hits. Gerhard the Iron Pirate. Gerhard the Iron Pirate swings wildly, hitting nothing. Old Charon Leaf-clad Fist Swinger cracks Gerhard the Iron Pirate in the head. Bonk. Old Charon Leaf-clad Fist Swinger kicks Gerhard the Iron Pirate over. Gerhard the Iron Pirate gets a light hit on the Leaf-clad Fist Swinger. Old Charon Leaf-clad Fist Swinger and Gerhard the Iron Pirate get caught in a parry that quickly breaks. The crowd cheer for the Iron Pirate and chanting, "Fight better and win!" That's valid. Old Charon Leaf-clad Fist Swinger swings for Gerhard the Iron Pirate, but misses wide. Second miss, but he dodges it. Old Charon Leaf-clad Fist Swinger parries with the Gerhard the Iron Pirate for a moment. Gerhard the Iron Pirate shouts, "Say your goodbyes, I'm going to kill you." Gerhard the Iron Pirate blocks and deflects a hit from the Old Charon the Leaf-clad Fist Swinger. The Leaf-clad Fist Swinger points his blade towards Gerhard the Iron Pirate and grins. Old Charon Leaf-clad Fist Swinger gets a hit on the Iron Pirate, minus 37 HP. The Iron Pirate gets a pretty light hit on Charon Leaf-clad Fist Swinger, minus 4. The Leaf-clad Fist Swinger kicks the Iron Pirate backwards. And Old Charon Leaf-clad Fist Swinger gets a fantastic strike on the Iron Pirate, and he's dead. I think they try and make the champion fights balanced, whereas the normal fights are just fights. They're just random. Gerhard the Iron Pirate is dead and will soon be forgotten. Good riddance. The people cheer, and some are in shock of the new grand champion who has crowned victory to Old Charon, the Leaf-clad Fist Swinger. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Exclamation point win might be what you're looking for, Cooler. So we now have a new champion. This guy will be persistent from year to year, so if they win it, also everybody must wear hats. Don't forget, it is the law. You have to wear a hat. Which means Crypt D is in trouble. Actually, I think all of my dwarves are in trouble, but D is just a funny one. Have the grand champion executed. I'm just seeing that. It's just like, huh. Execute him, eh? I wonder what anointing him does. Yes, Crypt is very equipped and ready to go. All right, well, back out of the arena. I think it's time to end the... Well, hold on. One other thing I want to check. Range diplomacy. Independent territories. I think we're just going to send a small skirmishing force against Grey Hero people. Uh, 11 are the people we're going to attack. We're just going to skirmish with them and see how it goes. And just send half of my troops. Makes him into a knight. Is that what it does? Okay. Yes. Let's use 2. Blue tree fruit. Plus 100 battle score to your forces total. Your men take the fruit and stuff their faces before battle. My saint, do you wish to watch the battle take place or just hear about it afterwards in the battle reports? Yes, I wish to watch the battle. This whole game is so chill and vibey though, Pink Fluffy Llama. And also, chat, just thanks everybody for showing up today. I wasn't sure what today would be like, but because, you know, we are streaming Warsim after all. And as the first year of Warsim comes to a close, I just want to say thanks, everybody, for, you know, just hanging out and chilling. A harsh sandstorm rips across the battlefield before the two armies clash. Through a raging sandstorm, your army marches on to meet the enemy. Several of your men turn around and reveal their behinds to taunt the enemy. Plus 1% initial battle strength bonus. The thunderstorm rages strong and many fighters take cover while it rips through the battlefield. 8 soldiers are killed and 8 peasants are killed. Minus 10 masked arched Blogricus are killed. Minus 2 matched arch Blograki are killed. Enemy troops remaining 1,492. Your troops remaining 2,488. Whew, that's quite the fight. The sandstorm whips up a huge heap of sand and buries a portion of the battlefield under it. That's a lot of dudes. No enemy losses? Fuck you, game. The two forces clash and attempt to outflank one another. However, no one side appears to have the upper hand. This is pretty cool. I like this. This is much nicer. We got some kills. You managed to push Grinkich back a little bit, slightly outfighting Grikroch. All right. We lost a handful of soldiers and a couple peasants, but they lost a few more. You managed to push forward quickly and penetrate the center, giggity, and break through, and the breakthrough does a great deal of damage. You need to try flashing the enemy in D&D. I mean, could be helpful. Seems like our 1,669 troops are doing some work right now. I'm kind of mad that like a chunk of the battlefield just got buried by sand. Like otherwise, this would have kind of been like a stomp fest. The two forces clash once again and attempt to outflank one another. However, no one side appears to have the upper hand. That's nature for you? Yeah, fuck it. In the midst of battle, someone slips and falls in a funny way. One fighter laughs, and soon the entire portion of the battlefield is engulfed in a moment of humor and laughter. After a minute or two of a sudden attack leads the fighting to resume as though nothing happened. The fighting rages on, but no one gains the advantage. The two forces clash and attempt to outflank each other. However, no one side appears to have the upper hand. We are killing some of their alphas. That's good. That's good. We're killing more of their alphas. Hey, they're down to 7-11. So what do you guys think of this new combat versus the old one? Because the old one was like, you press go and it would just go brrr and tell you who died and that was it. Now it's like it kind of like RPs it for you. You fight forward and gain the advantage, managing to completely overrun Grinkoroch. Let me get a Slurpee. Yeah, grab a Slurpee. Definitely do that. Both sides push forward, but find themselves momentarily evenly matched. The fight continues. The sandstorm seems to calm down for a moment, only to flare up and rage on worse than before. Oh no, not again. In the midst of fighting, a ferocious viper slithers onto the battlefield and attacks several combatants before being killed. Seems to get 2 kills on them, so that's good. In the midst of fighting, a small man climbs atop a rock and plays a trumpet. We shall call him Chad. It is a big number, Beer Minear. It's a number that I can't really wrap my brain around, I'll be honest. The sandstorm whips up a huge heap of sand and buries a portion of the battlefield under it. Both sides fight forward. We are pushing them down. Maybe I need to take the trumpet sound out of this game. That sound and make that a trumpet sound for you. They should pick a natural disaster their own side. I know, right? It's mean. The sandstorm is like against us. It's giving them the upper hand. Maybe like because we're skirmishing with them, they get a home front advantage. Maybe, who knows? Grinkarochs manages to push forward quickly and penetrate the center, and the breakthrough does a great deal of damage. Well, that's good. Not for us. We're now losing. Grinkaroch manages to push forward quickly and penetrates the center again. You fight forward and gain some marginal ground. The sandstorm calms down for a moment, but flares up worse again. And even worse, they fight forward and we lose. The skirmish was a failure. The raiders have not returned from battle. -3 relation with them. The battle over. You are brought a report showing troop losses and survivors. 0 survivors, a lot of losses. Yeah, big fluffy llama, pretty much. Choose to read the report automatically. I want a advanced report each year. You enlist 13 soldiers from your 5 lands. Your knights train 10 peasants into soldiers. 907 peasants desert you to join the rebellion's main larger army. Well, that's fun. You pay 50 in wages to the old Kroll. Your head diplomat. You pay 70 in wages to Goran Paknur, your general. You pay 34 in wages to Ulak, the drummer, court musician. Yay! You pay a bunch of money in wages to soldiers, and you pay 6 in wages to your knights. Corrupted assassins attempt to raid you and fail. 17 bandits are captured and jailed, and your defense palisades manage to prevent 2 raids from happening. Aedon's adventurers slaughter a small group of the North Pole militiamen, and the militia recruits 102 new peasants this year. The North Pole lost a skirmish with Grinkoch, and the brown-bannered Sardom raided the lands of the Oaken Raiders. Maybe we should go after them next year. Your treasury has increased by 823 gold, and your bank has increased by 9 gold in interest. All right, so I'm going to go get lunch, and then we're going to continue. All right? You guys have been exceptionally kind so far today, and I'm looking forward to the remainder of the stream. We're going to be streaming a bunch more of this over the next few days as well, and as well as today. Later tonight, we're going to do some Duck game around 5 p.m. Pacific. It's currently about just before 2 p.m., but my tummy is grumbling. So I'm just going to go grab me some lunch. If you happen to have sound commands, now's a good time to use them to entertain the chat. And if you're just hanging out and chilling, type in the word beer or the beers emote or the beers emoji or the Crypt Rocks emoji, and keep the chat moving. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. BRB.